All right, hello, welcome to the weather update. It's about 9:30 on October the 2nd. You might be hearing a plane or some kind of helicopter hovering overhead. I don't know what's going on around here in Mineola, but it could be some other crime issue perhaps. But you can see looking at the satellite here that we have a lot of clouds over our area today. It was pretty miserable, dreary day. Not tons of rain. Most of the rain was off to the south. You can see where that convection was, mostly over New Jersey. And that's kind of like where it stays right now. And you can see that. But it's just drizzly on and off, light rain, cloudy, raw and cold kind of day. Occasional light rain showers. Yeah, I don't know if it can pick that up, but there's a helicopter hovering overhead, so I don't know what's going on around here. But let me just continue with this weather update. All right, so let's take a look at the current conditions outside. We're having an issue with the weather and hazards data viewer, so we'll just show you here. We've generally been in the 50s all day, and that is where we stay. Even 40s in New Jersey. But I want to show you the rainfall amounts here. Didn't really wind up getting too much more rain on Long Island. Just like I said, occasional light rain. But as we work our way south over New Jersey, you can see the higher amounts, like 1.42 in Snug Harbor, 2.82 in, I don't know where that is. Unfortunately, we've got the radar obscuring this. We don't want the radar here. All right, here we go. So, yeah, you can see around an inch there. It looks like some of the areas on the Jersey Shore got between an additional 1 to 2 inches. So they've really been benefiting a lot, especially in places like Toms River, 2.31 there around Toms River. So, yeah, some of the areas here, especially further south. Look at this in Jersey, 2.22 inches, 2.54 inches in the parts of Atlantic County. Yeah, they really got soaked on. They're not going to have to worry about a drought anymore in places like Weymouth and Vineland. 2 inches plus of rain, 3.38. Wow, that's pretty remarkable right there. That's quite a bit of rain around Trenton and Philadelphia, too. So the southern half of New Jersey has really been getting a good amount of rain, but for Long Island, we haven't been seeing it. And I think that Jersey, at least the southern half, will be completely off the drought map now. So let's go take a look at what we have currently going on with our observations. And it's 52 at Islip. Northeast wind to 22, gusting to 32. The dew point is 42. So one thing that has dropped is the humidity. So if you look at the humidity here, you will see that we had dew points in the 50s this morning, and then they dropped into the 40s as drier air worked in, and that helped to push the rain back over Long Island. And again, though, we're still seeing these winds, and we still have coastal flood advisory in effect, high surf advisory in effect, and if we go down into New Jersey, you see coastal flood warnings in effect as well as a high wind warning for parts of Wildwood as well. So you see that right there. So let's go take a look at what we have going on. It is certainly not 70 degrees. There's no way it's 70 degrees in Miller Air Park, northwest wind to 10. That is an old observation. Oh my gosh, that is a really old observation. All right. We're having some issues with the weather information. So 50 degrees at Atlantic City. You can see the heavy rain, north wind at 18, gusting to 25. So, yeah, that is definitely, we've got this high wind warning in effect for Wildwood, where it's 51, and a north wind to 22, gusting to 29 miles an hour. So let's see what we've got going on here. So, sorry, I was just looking at something else. Yeah, you can see there, pretty windy conditions, and there's that coastal flood warning that is going to be in effect, and that's because of the prolonged easterly to northeasterly winds that we're going to have here. And the coastal flood statement is high surf advisory, high rip currents, coastal flood warnings. For the coastal flood warning, 1 to 2 feet of inundation on the Jersey Shore, and large breaking waves of up to 8 feet on the ocean there on the Jersey Shore. Now, looking at Long Island, we're going to have that similar thing here. We have an advisory, so conditions won't be quite as bad here, but we're going to have 1 foot of inundation ground level in vulnerable areas near the waterfront, and this is southwestern Suffolk County. I imagine the South Shore of Nassau, too, until 8 p.m. tomorrow. So, yeah, we're seeing this, and we've got to watch this because we have this storm that's kind of sitting there. Now, I do want to go over the October statistics. The climate statistics for September in this weather update. You can see here's a nice little radar loop on the Twitter here. We can play it for you. And you can see here that the rain is kind of, we're just on the fringes of it. Mostly over Jersey. You can see where it's just been pouring all day long there. So let's go to the climate, local past weather, and we'll go and we'll look at the climate statistics for, if they have them, monthly weather summary. For Islip, let's see if we have our monthly weather summary. Finally, we do for Islip. So, for Islip, our average maximum high was 76.9. This is September statistics. The normal highs 74.8, so we were 2.1 degrees above normal for our highs. Lows at night 59.4. The normal low is 58.9, so we're 0.6 degrees above normal for that. And that means a mean of 68.2, and that is roughly 1.3 degrees above the normal of 66.9. Precipitation, this is the one where we really were very lacking. Only 2.89 inches. Normal is supposed to be 3.60. That is 0.71 inches below normal. So that gives you an idea of what was going on at Islip. Let's go. Actually, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go to, I want to check Central Park, too, and a few of the other climate sites in our area here. And no, not the daily. Oh, I'm on the monthly. Why is it not showing me the monthly? All right, let's try this again. Here we go. So here is the monthly update for Central Park for September. Average maximum 76.9, normal 76.2. Average minimum 62.2, normal 62.3. Fairly close to normal, really. So it was only 0.7 above normal on the high, 0.1 below normal on the low. The mean 69.5, normal 69.2. It's only 0.3 because, again, the tail end of the month was kind of chilly. So I kind of made things a little not so above normal in Central Park, but the precipitation 4.10. It's fairly close to normal, 4.31. So a lot more rain in Central Park than there was on Long Island. So now let's get to our forecast here and look at what's going to be happening here as we head into the thing. And I'm just distracted because there's a helicopter literally hanging out over my neighborhood, and we don't know if there's some kind of crime that happened or not. But let me get through this weather update and we'll figure out what's going on. I'm sure whatever happened, we won't hear about it on the news. Because, again, we live in a wasteland, a forgotten place that doesn't, but we still are affected by the weather, so we're still going to talk about the weather here. All right, so let's go take a look at the pattern, and you'll see here the jet stream's a mess. We kind of get into a split flow here, and it's just going to mean more, you'll see toward the end of the period there, as you get later part of October, a couple more plunges coming through. So that'll hopefully bring some cooler weather, drier, cooler weather. I mean, today was cold, but not dry. And then I'll go this. I'm a little distracted. It's you got a helicopter hovering above your neighborhood. You're going to be a little distracted and worrying what's going on. All right. But let's continue here. So here we go. You see there's that cutoff. And that cutoff's going to sit there because we got a ridge kind of blocking it there. So we're going to be dealing with this cutoff for a while until we get toward the end of this week, and then we'll finally get into a drier pattern once again with that trough there. But then again, you see another ridge trying to grow as we get toward the later part of the month. But let's now go into the surface view, and we'll show you what's going to be happening at the surface so you get an idea of how we're going to deal with this week ahead. So tomorrow, high pressure tries to build in, pushes that cutoff low, which could become some kind of tropical system. And it's going to just sit there off the coast of like Virginia. Here we are Tuesday, and it starts to move northward again, bringing the chance for rain again. And here we are Wednesday, still dealing with the chance for rain with this thing. And then finally, as we get toward Thursday, it finally starts moving away. And then we finally start having high pressure build in for the weekend, and we should have a nice weekend to make up for that horrible weekend we had. But we did need the rain. Unfortunately, like I said, not enough on Long Island. But if you're a New Jersey boy, you're going to be your lakes are going to be doing very nicely. So let's go take a look at the GFS, and I guess we'll start with the GFS to show you just the little differences on the models here. So GFS, obviously, you see this low here. Let me go to the FV3 here. All right, we know enough of the 18Z, so we'll just look at the 12Z FV3, which is the high resolution of the GFS. And you'll see here that you can see tomorrow, luckily, that rain is kept to the south of us. Long Island should stay dry tomorrow. However, as we get into Tuesday, you'll start to see that rain start to come a little closer, and that's when we're going to see those rain chances return once again, and bring some more chances for rain. As far as how much goes, well, if we look at the total accumulated precip on this, you see it won't wind up being that much for Long Island, but if you're in New Jersey, you could see a little more. And again, the other thing to concern ourselves with is the wind. So let's does this give us the wind? Yes. So this is the problem that we have as we deal with this onshore flow. So here we are in tomorrow. You see that easterly flow, east to northeast flow. That's going to be, pushing the water on and causing that coastal flooding, and that on top of the rain. And then as we get to look at some of these winds off Delmarva here, very strong. This is trying to redevelop this into some kind of perhaps tropical system, which would be really unusual. This is, you see here, for Tuesday here. I'm trying so hard to concentrate. I mean, you got to hear that. I don't know if you can hear that or not. I mean, I got the mic set for my voice, but hopefully you can hear that. But anyway, let's go to the HRRR next. And we only have about 34 hours of the HRRR. And then here's the HRRR, by the way, showing this system again a little further out, and then it kind of takes a swing back at the coast almost. So again, this is very unusual. This is the kind of pattern that brought us Sandy, having this kind of system here like this, and that's why I'm a little nervous about it. But again, tomorrow we will be dry around Long Island, but then as we get toward Tuesday, you see this system trying to make its way back in our area and bring the rain back into the picture. This is the HRRR here at 0Z. All right. And then we have another model we'll look at here. Let's go to the European model next. So this is the European model. And again, it dries out tomorrow. It's the good news. But Tuesday, you see, we have that chance of rain. And look at this thing. It looks like it tries to form and then make a landfall around Atlantic City, do a loop-the-loop. And then here we are Wednesday, still dealing with it offshore. And then finally, by Thursday, it starts to move away. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on outside. I may have to go outside and see. But... I mean, it's like literally right. It sounds like it's almost right overhead. So let's go to the. Back to the GFS, I guess. Back to the GFS. Well, go back to the FV3. Well, yeah, let's go back to the GFS. Sorry, I get distracted. I can't when you got something going on, you're worried about it. It's hard to concentrate. But I want to get this weather update done. So here we are, and you're looking at the dew point and wind flow. You see those tight isobars there, and the strong winds, gusty winds will continue. You see the drier air, though. That kind of keeps the rain away from us tomorrow. However, you see a little more moisture trying to work in the area on Tuesday here. And then for Wednesday, you still see it around. The system's still sitting there, and then finally starts to move away by Thursday. And then you can see that second front come through Friday and then bring us some nice weather for the weekend. Let's go look at the temperatures. Obviously, they will be staying cool with this system in place. So here we go for your tomorrow. You'll see highs. Might get a little warmer than today, so maybe we'll be closer to 60. I don't think we'll see much sunshine. And then for Tuesday, you see those cooler temperatures again with the rain chances around. And then Wednesday, still dealing with those cooler temperatures, again below normal, 50s probably for highs. And then we'll see the temperatures come up on Thursday and Friday, especially maybe we'll even get into the mid-70s on Friday before the cooler weather comes back for the weekend. Obviously, you know the deal with the clouds. I don't have to show it to you, but I will. Obviously, maybe it's trying to actually bring a little bit of clearing in to Suffolk County tomorrow. That would be nice if it could. This is, again, the GFS. We can look at the high-res GFS. Let's see if this is, again, the high-res for tomorrow. Let's see. We don't have enough of the 0Z in, so I got to use the 12Z. And you can see yeah, it's not quite as optimistic with the. I don't think we're going to lose the clouds tomorrow. Maybe a peak of sun. I mean, look at the RGM as well. It's trying to bring a couple of breaks in, perhaps in the late afternoon hours. But other than that, we're kind of stuck in the clouds Tuesday and much of Wednesday too. And maybe finally later Wednesday we get out of this thing, and it finally moves away. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And then Thursday, you see here we have maybe a little more sun. But if we want the clear, sunny weather, maybe Friday we'll have some sunshine. Then the cold front comes through, and then we get some really nice weather for the weekend. And the good news is we'll have train service. So let's go to the. I want to look at a few more models here. We go to windy.com. I guess you won't do it on windy.com. Just the coastal threat here is something I'm concerned about with this wind fetch. All right, so if we go look at the wind gusts here, you'll see the kind of winds we're dealing with offshore. Gusts up to 51 miles an hour. It's kind of why I wish I had that weather and hazards data viewer. But you know what we can do, because we're having a malfunction with it right now. Let me go to the marine. We'll get the latest summary of the marine conditions here and see what kind of winds we're getting offshore. Yeah, some pretty strong winds offshore. Let's see what we've got as far as wave heights go. All right, yeah, some 15-footers out there on some of these sites, 10-footers. Yeah, that's significant. That's the kind of coastal flooding that we're going to have to be careful of here. And you can see this continues into tomorrow here, all right, these winds. I don't think I have it on wind gusts. Do I have it on wind gusts? I do it on wind gusts. Okay. So this is the way the wind gusts are. And you can see the Hardy area, South Shore and the Jersey Shore getting in on some of these pretty strong wind gusts. Over us, we're going to have wind gusts into the 30s. We've been dealing with that all day. Tuesday, we're still dealing with it. There's that system there. And almost, like I said, has some tropical characteristics to it. And then offshore, you can see we're going to be getting wind gusts close to 60 miles an hour. And even out on the east end, wind gusts close into the 40s, maybe 50. So high wind warnings might be needed for parts of Long Island. Here we are Tuesday night. And again, over our area, we're going to be dealing with wind gusts probably closing in on 40 here. Tuesday is going to be pretty stormy. Wind gusts close to 50. And then this thing, look at this. It's still sitting here Wednesday. This is, again, using the European model. And you'll see here, again, so this is like a prolonged assault here that we're going to be dealing with here. This system is going to be sitting here for days. And again, it's because we don't have a jet stream to move it along. And then finally, we get rid of it, as we get to a Thursday. So we got 3 more days of this crap to deal with, unfortunately. And if we go look at the waves, which is what we're going to look at next here, you'll see what we're dealing with here. Again, those waves offshore, really just a lot of coastal beach erosion here. You know, if you want to see some big waves, I guess you can head to the beach. You'll see some pretty big waves out there. 13-footers out just off the offshore here. And the oceans just out to the south. I mean, we could have close to 20-footers offshore. So this is going to cause a lot of coastal flooding. And then finally, it starts calming down by Wednesday. But yeah, this is ridiculous. I do want to look at the Earth Cam for a minute. Let's go to the Seaside Heights Earth Cam, and I'll just see what just to give you an idea of what the conditions are like there. You can see how the camera is shaking, and the wind is blowing quite heavily there. That is there. So they're getting that full onslaught from the east there. Let's go look at what it was like during the day here. You can see a little more of what the ocean was like. So you can see all the big waves there on the ocean. So yeah, this is what we're going to be dealing with here. It's going to be quite stormy. Look at that. There's going to be quite a bit of beach erosion and possible flooding. I can see the water already trying to come in up the beach here. So there's going to be quite a bit of beach erosion here. As you can see, there ain't a soul out here. Miserable. Like I said, they've been getting it worse than we have. Power outages, fortunately. We're going to look at the power outage situation again. Not too many. We got about 3,624 out in New Jersey. And for New York, 765. That's not too bad. Suffolk has 359. Nassau only has 14. So luckily we're not seeing any of those impacts yet. But Ian is still causing misery, even though it is no longer on the Hurricane Center map anymore. If you go look at the Hurricane Center, you'll see it's not there anymore. But still, its misery is still being caused, the effects. And again, it's all because of this jet stream pattern that we are in. Again, we don't have a jet stream to move this along. We've got a blocking high out in the Atlantic and to the north, so it can't go anywhere. So we're stuck with this for at least the next couple of days. At least tomorrow, though, we get a little break from the rain. Though it's more of a miserable, for us on Long Island, it's more of a misery rain because it's not really giving us, much more as far as rainfall totals. And that may be the kind of annoying rain that we're going to have to deal with for the next, tomorrow we get a break from it for Tuesday and Wednesday. We may have to deal with that annoying type of rain where it's not really going to help, put much in. It's just going to be that drizzle, that light rain shower kind of stuff with that nasty wind. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.